You can do a tag team match, because you have, what's her face? Carmella. You can have her and Lana team up against them. I don't know. We'll see what happens there.
It's so funny to me because you talk about how poorly booked everything is in WWE now. Not everything, but I would say a lot of the booking really doesn't make any sense. The only thing they're succeeding with is the women's division on SmackDown is booked so well, except for the champion.
Yeah.
But everybody else looks so good.
The 5 women,
you want everybody in everything.
Yeah.
And they don't give there's not enough time.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
They're the only ones that are booked amazingly well.
Yeah, and majority of the time it's a 5 or 6 person match. Yeah. And that's not a good way to present wrestlers because it's a cluster, you know what.
Yeah.
I'll say this about Naomi's title, though. I don't know if you saw it. It's like all glowy.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I like it. I dig it.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of her. I hate the gimmick. I don't like her.
Yeah, whatever. So. Whatever.
I really do hate her gimmick. I think it's so
I mean, what is it? She just likes glowing stuff?
She goes to raves, I guess.
Whatever.
All right, after that was what?
That
was the Owen Styles match.
Which was an all-right match.
Yeah, I expect better from them.
Yeah, I was certainly disappointed from this match, especially
weird
the
finish.
ending.
Yeah, weird finish, and they gave it back to Owens, which, I love. He had a great time on Talking Smack, which he took credit for having it canceled, which is
a shame that they canceled it. Because this
I know
was
you're a big fan of that.
Yeah, this is a show where, Vince McMahon's not feeding lines to you. You got to improvise and speak from the heart, and you could see who was good, who would have, lasted back in the 80s and 90s. Guys like The Miz and Kevin Owens, they have the ability to just go off the top of their head, and then you see somebody mess up, but whatever, it's fun to see that because it's real, and you don't get enough of that on WWE programming. In fact, you get none of it.
He really made his name from that. I mean, that's really what started his whole revolution, is people really respecting him again.
And they haven't really capitalized on it.
Yeah, no. Now they've made him the champion again, but I just feel like every storyline he's in now is just so like I've seen this.
It is. It's like the same rivalries are happening, whether it's Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose versus The Miz. Like, it's the same stuff, and I wish the brand split went a little differently. Maybe with John Cena as this free agent, who knows? Maybe he shows up on Raw tonight.
Yeah,
there's a lot of possibilities of what will happen with him. But so the match between Styles and Owens, I think we both agree, could have been a lot better. But it certainly wasn't a bad match.
I would like to see like a tables match between them. That'd be fun.
Tables match? Who wants to see a tables match when you can have a ladder match?
I want to see a table. I love table matches.
Anthony,
table match is like my favorite type of match.
You're insane.
What do you mean? You put them to the table to win. That's such a cool concept.
Yeah, but it always ends bogusly with someone tripping or,
No.
Yes.
Not always.
Always.
No. The Dudleys and the Usos actually had a pretty good table match.
Yeah, because the Dudleys, they're the master of the table, man.
Well, Devon's there, so he can maybe train them.
Wait, Devon's with the company?
Yeah. Didn't he got when? Who was it that got attacked? Someone got attacked backstage, and he ran out to save them.
Really?
And everyone was yelling, "Devon, get the table!"
Oh wow,
yeah,
that's
great.
Funny.
Yeah, Devon's with the company because he wants to do some booking and stuff.
I mean, Devon, he's a smart guy, and from what I could tell, he's really liked by everyone backstage.
You see his head though from blading.
Oh
for years?
man,
it's so
I was
sad.
talking to that about other people, like just. Guys like Dusty Rhodes or Abdullah the Butcher, if you looked at their foreheads, it was just like a road map, essentially.
It's so sad.
I mean...
It's disgusting.
It's not sad, it's disgusting.
Well, it's sad that that's what they had to do.
Well, that's their decision. You didn't need to blade.
But, I don't know, it's crazy.
Yeah, those guys are insane. To take a razor blade and cut your own forehead
was
is
it Abdullah
insanity.
the Butcher? There was some guy that you would use a fork on.
Yeah, Abdullah the Butcher.
That's crazy, man.
Insane. By the way, you're listening to The Squared Circle on 90.3 WHU.
You're talking about people stabbing people with forks.
Yeah, somebody just tunes in. Didn't he stab him with forks? But I think a ladder match would be great, especially for the title, because you have it hung up there. We know Owens has had great ladder matches in the past.
So does Styles.
And Styles, obviously, he's one of the best of all time. So I think they could put on a great match there.
See, I was going to say maybe they could do like a multiple guy match too, but I mean, they just had Money in the Bank, and that's kind of what that is. So.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had a one-on-one ladder match in WWE in quite some time, if you think about it. At least that I could think of. It's usually, a TLC or it's a Money in the Bank. I just want a singular one-on-one ladder match. There's no better drama than that. So maybe we'll get that. But yeah, Owens wins the match, and he does so by pinning Styles while Styles has him in some sort of submission, but apparently Styles' shoulders were not touching the whole time. I don't know if you read this article. Yeah, so apparently his left shoulder was up, and they were talking about that. So that's why I'm saying the feud. I think will continue.
They may do a rematch Tuesday. It's possible.
Yeah, we'll see if they, if this rivalry ends before SummerSlam and they do something else with these two, which I wouldn't mind, or I wouldn't mind it culminating with a ladder match.
It's interesting to see what they're going to do with Jinder now, because I would imagine that the Randy Orton thing is going to be done.
It has to be done.
Yeah,
it's been like 3 pay-per-views.
Yeah, so I think it's over. That's over. So it's going to be interesting to see if maybe they put Styles into that picture and say okay, Styles versus Jinder.
I mean, I would love John Cena to go up against Jinder.
Yeah, I'd be fine with it, but I'd rather see somebody get elevated into that. I mean, Cena really doesn't need it.
No, of course he doesn't. John Cena doesn't need to win any more titles.
Next match was Sami Zayn. Oh, no, that was John Cena Rusev's next match. I also didn't watch that one either.
You didn't?
Those are the only 2 I didn't watch.
You didn't miss that much with the Cena...
I was mad
Rusev
I missed my
match?
friend Handsome Rusev, though. I love Handsome Rusev.
Yeah. You know what? I'll say this. Those two, they're great. It's such a throwback to the 80s when you have, the angry foreigner versus the American.
In a flag match.
It was super fun, and the crowd, of course, is into it. And I'll say this. The crowd was dead throughout the night, except the opener. Would you agree? Especially the main event. They were done.
Well, you can't see anything. There's 2 cages surrounding the ring.
What do they expect? What do they expect right there?
I really don't like that. I mean, it's a cool concept, I guess.
I don't like it at all.
It's cool in theory. It's one of those things that, in a WWE video game, maybe it would be fun to play, but when you're watching it, it's just really hard to book.
It's some WCW stuff there. Hey, it's just open... I just don't you open the thing, you have 60 seconds, and then you could get out, and then you have to climb. And then, in theory, they could kind of just go through the squares, as you saw one of the...
the Singh brothers. Yeah. That was a crazy bump he took,
It was a great bump. I did happen to see that. My Apple TV didn't flake out. But did the other Singh take another bump, or no?
I just got hit with the
bamboo stick? Yeah, and you saw the welts on Randy Orton. But let's go back to Cena and what's his face?
Rusev.
Yep. You didn't see the match.
Nope, didn't catch it.
So obviously you knew Cena was going to win. He's coming back, his first pay-per-view match since WrestleMania, and he's the American. You knew it was going to happen. But again, it was a fun story. They seem to have decent chemistry with one another. Yep. And I'm glad to just have John Cena back. It's about time, and hopefully he stays around.
We'll see what he does, and we'll see what Rusev does. I wouldn't mind seeing Rusev in some sort of title push, but every champion right now is pretty much a heel, except for the tag champs. So
yeah, we'll see what they do with his character. Is he just not going to be with Lana anymore?
I think that they're their own thing. Lana didn't introduce him, so
yeah. So again, we can always have, now that she can wrestle. I mean, quote unquote wrestle. I'm doing quotation marks.
They could do mixed tags.
Exactly. You can have. I mean, I hope we don't get this.
Nikki Bella versus Lana.
You can look, but you can't touch. Please. We cannot have this match at SummerSlam. We cannot have Cena in a mixed tag match at WrestleMania and SummerSlam. He's the biggest guy in the company, regardless what anyone says. He's, The Rock, the Hulk Hogan, the Stone Cold of this era. He needs to be put in a prominent match, not a mixed tag match.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so...
then was Mike Kanellis versus Sami Zayn. Really fun match. I actually liked it a lot.
Yeah, my Apple TV was actually...
acting up here?
Acting up here, so I caught some of it.
I really liked
Sami Zayn is such a good worker.
Yep. So is Mike... I'm going to call him Mike Bennett, because I'm over the Mike Kanellis thing.
And Maria is beautiful, I'll say this.
She's a great... I love Maria. I liked her when she was here with Santino. I loved her as Santino's manager.
Santino was so funny, man.
Yeah, he was great. And I love her now. She's great. I like their gimmick. Apparently WWE doesn't. According to Cage Side Seats, apparently they're already starting to kind of sour on this gimmick.
Great.
Which, great. They've been around for a month, and what are we going to do now?
Well, again... you always wonder who's leaking this stuff. How bad are
they're just rumors at this point.
No, but you know what? They leaked, the rumor is Natalia's going to win. She's the favorite to win. Mm-hmm. And who would have thought that? Nobody would have said Natalia's going to win. But going in, somebody leaked that. So, I mean, do you think it's WWE leaking this out just to get more, publicity? Or is it, they just have awful employees?
Yeah, but they could say that all the time. And there's so many people working on these things, so that if one person says something to someone... that we're leaning towards Natalya winning.
It's a shame. I think if you work for a company, you should have, some sort of ability to keep a secret to, surprise the fans.
Social media just also
Yeah,
ruins
and
everything.
again, it is our fault.
You can write whatever you want. Like
Yeah.
I could write this week, Natalya is the favorite to win.
Yeah.
And then in 2 weeks I could say, things have changed, now they're changing their path.
Yeah, that's, I think that's a lot. That's how a lot of these websites actually do work. They say something, and then if it does change, like, they decide to change their mind.
They don't even have to. You can just make it up yourself.
Yeah,
because then
exactly.
you've said both. Then,
exactly.
You know what I mean? And you're just doing it for the paycheck.
I'll say this. If I worked for WWE, I'm keeping every secret. I'll do whatever you guys want. I'll sweep the floors. I'll clean the toilets. I need to work for that company.
I would love to know how you become in creative. Like, how do you get into creative?
I'll tell you this. Mick Foley's son got into it because his dad's Mick Foley. So is your dad a wrestler by any chance?
He's not.
We're not. We're not going to be in creative anytime soon.
But a few other rumors from Cage side. Current plans call for Jinder Mahal's WWE title run to end at SummerSlam or at SmackDown September pay-per-view at the latest. So I'm sure that would make you happy.
I mean, where are they going to go with it, though? And when it does end, it's not going to end because he's going to have his rematches. I feel like Jinder Mahal, unfortunately, is going to be in this main event picture. I don't think until not until WrestleMania, but I could see, till Survivor Series. And then hopefully he gets put where he deserves, back to the mid-card. We also had Finn Balor banged up his surgically repaired shoulder on Friday night at a Raw live event. But he didn't miss any shows for the weekend. He's expected to work through it. So, of course, Finn Balor getting hurt again. How many injuries has he had? Well, he's been wrestling for a long time. It's kind of like Daniel Bryan.
He's close to 40. People don't realize he's close to 40 years old. He's like 35, yeah.
Yeah, well, these guys who worked on the indies were taking crazy bumps for a long time, not in the WWE. Like, we missed the best years of Bryan Danielson's career, and we missed some of the best years of what Finn Balor could do.
Yeah, he's 35.
Yeah.
He'll be 30. Tomorrow's his birthday, actually. He'll be 36 tomorrow.
And I don't like what they're doing with him on Raw. He's facing Elias Sampson tonight. But we got the final match. So you got to explain to me what happened.
Basically, Randy was climbing over the final barrier.
Yeah.
And,
And Khali's music just played?
Well, no, it wasn't Khali's music. That was the weird thing, is they played Jinder Mahal's music.
Uh-huh.
And then Khali walked out because everyone was like, "What's going on?"
With quotation marks.
Well, he did his march, and he does, and he really just went up. And the best part was Randy Orton was more than halfway over. And when he started shaking the cage, Randy went whoa, and he flipped back to the other side and came down, and then Jinder climbed up, and Khali choked him through the cage, and he passed out.
This is not going to last too long, in my opinion. So this is like the Nation of Domination, but for Indian people?
I guess.
Is that what they're doing?
I'm about it. I'm about the Great Khali and the Singh brothers. And,
Yeah, we'll see what they do with it.
Which apparently the Singh brothers are eventually going to join the tag team division in SmackDown.
You would think, because what do they do? What is their role? Who are they? What are they? Managers?
Get murdered by Randy Orton.
That's what it says on their contract. But what's their official thing? There's associates?
Yeah, I guess.
They haven't wrestled a match, have they?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, so we got a lot to talk about. We didn't even get to Kurt Angle's song.
Yeah, I'll let you talk about that.
Well, for me, this was a huge letdown. For the main part, I love American Alpha as a tag team. To me, they were the best tag team in the company, at least on the main roster. So to have them just get split up without really having a run at all was ridiculous. And then this whole storyline, basically Jason Jordan, one half of American Alpha, was said to be Kurt Angle's illegitimate son.
Yep.
It's insanity. It's pure pro wrestling at its worst. But again, we just got the announcement. We don't know what they're going to do with it. So let's give it the benefit of the doubt. But as of now, it's stupid.
He's going to stay a face, but
yeah,
maybe we'll see. Maybe they'll do a whole nepotism storyline where it's
yeah,
oh well, Jason Jordan's going to face Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see Kurt Angle be a heel because he's one of the best heels. So we'll have all that breaking news next week on the Squared Circle. For Anthony Tardamella, I'm Justin Greenberg. Stay tuned for the 4:30 news wrap up coming up next. Peace.